Horrifying cave diving accident, the Twin Caves accident. Actually, there's no such thing as a rescue when cave diving. It's majorly a risk. There is an expectation that you will take responsibility for any problems that arise and work to resolve them. A cave diver will retrieve your body if you perish in the cave. Over and over again, we were told that there would be no saving them, except that one guy at that one spot in Merritt's pond. Welcome back to our channel, and we'll talk about the case of the Twin Cave accident. So let's dive in and begin. Since Ed Sorensen wanted to start a cave diving business on Merritt's Mill Pond, an artificial lake in Mariana, he relocated from Portland, Oregon to Florida 15 years ago. In addition, he joined the International Association of Cave Rescue and Recovery. Most cave rescues end in tragedy because by the time someone goes missing and an IUCRR diver arrives, the person is usually already dead. There have only been 4 successful cave rescues before 2012. 7 hours of Ed Sorensen's life were spent in April 2012 bringing a young man's body out of a cave in Tallahassee, Florida. As he attempted to squeeze through a narrow passage without his gear, he became entangled. After a while, rigor mortis set in, and he had to manually move his limbs to force himself back through the opening. Ed Sorensen's resilience has been questioned by many who wonder how he deals with setbacks of that magnitude. This may come out as frigid, but Ed can tune out. That week later, Ed got an urgent phone call saying a diver had gone missing on Mill Pond, and he immediately feared the worst. If Ed had waited even 5 more minutes, his diving lesson at the other end of the lake would have started and he would have missed the call. A guy and his 2 teenage kids had explored the Twin Caves. It starts at the surface and gradually descends to a depth of 3,000 feet below the earth, with several jump tunnels branching off to form smaller tunnels. A permanent line, a 4mm wide nylon rope known as the Gold Line, traces the primary path. Cave diving is a specialized field that differs significantly from open water diving in terms of safety protocols, equipment, and training. Although the dad in this scenario was a seasoned open water diver, all open water divers employ the same up and down flutter kick. This agitates the sediment and immediately eliminates visibility in highly muddy water. Local cave divers who were already exploring the Twin Caves spotted the trio as they made their way inside. One of them spotted the family performing flutter kicks and signaled for her party to leave, but within seconds it was completely dark. They followed the Gold Line to the exit, but not before being passed by a father and son diving team who were in a mad dash to get out. The father's pleas for the gang to return and retrieve his daughter appear to be genuine at first glance. However, they lack training and rescue procedures, and any attempt to do so would have only increased the number of casualties. When panicked, a diver who is stuck may thrash around, ripping off the mask and regulator. Ed made a beeline towards the dock where another diver had already started the boat. He always had a backup of everything, including extra tanks and a breather, and his gear's always prepared to go. It had been at least 15 minutes since the call, and Ed still needed to get geared up by the time we arrived at the caves. There was a pressing need to move quickly because of the depth of the water meant that the air tanks would only last for around half an hour. Even though the entrance is only 3 feet by 3 feet, he was unable to see it due to the thick layer of silt covering it. Inside, Ed started searching in a zigzag pattern. After about 10 minutes, Ed stumbled onto her legs. She had made her way into a dome where divers were making a pocket of air by treading water. Multiple times she had attempted to escape, only to be nearly entangled by sharp pebbles and turn back. It was a miracle that she located the dome even once, much less twice. As a result, she was shivering, weeping, and feeling quite vulnerable. To this, Ed responded, "I'm going to get you out. I'm not going anywhere," and he urges them to take it easy. In response, she gave a slight nod. They swam down to the bottom of the lake together, her holding his arm as we followed the Gold Line I had rigged up on the reel. When he started walking back to the door, she stopped Ed to take a deep breath from his tank. He made it to the exit, squeezed through, and emerged from the cave. The sight of the 2 survivors astonished onlookers. As she thanked Ed in the water, Ed reinserted her regulator and hauled her back to the boat. When his boat came, the sheriff chastised the father. After discovering he almost lost his daughter, he paid Ed for his services. Ed said no, but he donated to DERS. He was the first hero. The girl wrote a sweet note that Ed keeps on his desk to this day. And that's it for today's video. Hey, we'll be back with more soon. Please make sure you like our video and subscribe to our channel.